Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I'm Abhishek Mukhopadhyay and with me is Anita Anand with the Midday News. The headlines. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman unveiled structural reforms for 7 sectors in the 5th tranche of Atmanirbhar Bharat package. Government to increase public health expenditure and invest in grassroots health institutions to prepare for future pandemics. Centre to give states extra resources worth over 4 lakh crore rupees. Additional 40,000 crore rupees allocated under MG Narega to provide fillip to employment. Third phase of nationwide lockdown ends today. COVID-19 recovery rates rises above 35%. And tropical cyclone Amphan intensifying over Bay of Bengal as it moves towards Bangladesh, Myanmar and India. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman unveiled the final tranche of the financial stimulus and policy measures for various sectors to help build a self-reliant India under Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had on Tuesday in his address to the nation announced a special economic package equivalent to 10% of India's GDP, amounting to 20 lakh crore rupees. Addressing a media briefing in New Delhi, Finance Minister in an announcement of the 5th tranche of measures to address the economic situation in the country amid COVID-19 outlined structural reforms with focus on 7 areas of MG Narega, health and education, business during COVID, decriminalization of Company Act, ease of doing business, policy related to public sector units, state government and resources related to it.
The first one is Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. Second is on health and both in rural and urban. And together with it, I put during the COVID period, education related steps that have been taken. So that's the second. Third is on businesses and COVID. Fourth is on decriminalization of the Companies Act. Fifth is talking about ease of doing business and related matters. Sixth is on public sector enterprises related matters and the policy thereof. Seventh, state governments and resources related to state governments.
Announcing the relief measures of the 5th tranche, Nirmala Sitharaman said under the MG Narega scheme, an additional 40,000 crore rupees will be allocated for employment generation in the rural parts of the country. She said this will help to generate nearly 300 crore person days to provide relief to the migrant workers.
Government will now allocate an additional 40,000 crores. This way will ensure that during the monsoon season, and since many of them have gone back to their villages, and if they enroll, they will get the jobs. So 40,000 crore of this is additionally given over and above the BE.
On the health reforms and initiatives taken to fight the COVID-19 pandemic, she said public expenditure will be increased and health and wellness centers in rural and urban areas will be ramped up. She said infectious diseases hospital blocks in all districts and integrated public health labs in all districts and block level will be set up to prepare India for the future pandemic.
Public expenditure on health will be certainly increased. Investments at the grassroots level will be ramped up for health and wellness centers, both in the rural and urban areas. All districts will have an infectious diseases block in their hospitals. Public health labs will be set up at all block levels.
The Finance Minister said National Digital Health Blueprint will be implemented under the National Digital Health Mission. She said PM E-Vidya program for multi-mode access to digital online education will be launched immediately and it will consist of e-content and QR-coded textbooks for all grades. She said 1 TV channel per class from 1 to 12 will be operated and extensive use of radio and community radio will be made. Finance Minister said minimum threshold to initiate insolvency proceedings has been raised to 1 crore rupees for 1 lakh to provide relief to the MSMEs. She said special insolvency resolution framework for MSMEs code will be notified and no fresh initiation of insolvency proceedings will be done up to next 1 year. Speaking over decriminalization of Companies Act, she said violation involving minor technical and procedural default will not be accounted, which in turn would help to declog the criminal courts and NCLT.
compoundable offences where there are, they can now be tried under internal adjudicating mechanism, and this way, one, it becomes simpler, it can be sorted out at the internal adjudicating mechanism route rather than go to the courts. This will help us decongest the courts. The declogging is absolutely important for the criminal courts and for the NCLT. 7 compoundable offences altogether will be dropped and 5 will be dealt with under alternative framework.
The minister said under the ease of doing reforms, Indian public companies can directly list securities in permissible foreign jurisdiction. Finance Minister said government will announce a new policy related to the public sector enterprises, PSEs. On the support extended to the state government, Finance Minister said more than 46,000 crore rupees have been devolved in April, and revenue deficit grants of more than 12,000 crore in April and May have also been given to the states despite centre's stressful resources. Ms. Sitaraman highlighted how despite severe revenue losses for the centre in the wake of COVID-19 situation, the allocation to the states was kept unchanged, amounting to an increased resources of 4,28,000 crore rupees for them. She said more than 11,000 crore rupees have been released as advance from State Disaster Relief Fund in the first week of April, and Ministry of Health and Family Welfare released another 4,113 crore rupees for direct anti-COVID activities. Referring to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's address, Finance Minister said government is working with a targeted approach to provide the benefits to the people belonging to all strata of the society. She said Shramik special trains were operated for the migrant workers and 85% of the cost was borne by the central government. Giving the details of overall stimulus provided under the Atmanirbhar Bharat package, Finance Minister said the overall package will be around 20,97,000 crore rupees, which includes 1,70,000 crore rupees for Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan package, 15,000 crore rupees for the health sector, 3 lakh crore rupees for MSMEs, 2 lakh crore rupees for additional credit through Kisan credit cards, 90,000 crore rupees for DISCOMs, 30,000 crore rupees for non-banking financial companies, housing finance companies and microfinance institutions, 3,500 crore rupees for supplying free food grains to migrant workers, 5,000 crore rupees for special credit facility to street vendors. The Finance Minister added that 10,000 crore rupees had been allotted for micro-food enterprises, 20,000 crore rupees for Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, 1 lakh crore rupees have also been allocated to Agricultural Infrastructure Fund under the Atmanirbhar package.
Today is the last day of the third phase of nationwide lockdown to curb the spread of COVID-19. The dates of the fourth phase of lockdown are yet to be announced. During his address to the nation on 12th of this month, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had said that the fourth phase of lockdown will have a completely different form with new rules. Mr. Modi had said that based on the suggestions from the states, information related to Lockdown 4 will be given to the public before 18th of May. The country is under lockdown since 25th of March. It has been extended twice, first till 3rd of May and then till today. The Maharashtra government today extended the lockdown till 31st of May 2020. According to an order issued by State Chief Secretary Ajoy Mehta, the lockdown will be in force till the midnight of May 31st. It said the calibrated phase-wise relaxation lifting of lockdown orders will be notified in due course. More from our Mumbai correspondent.
Responding to the request of the state government, some companies of CAPF have arrived in the state and have been deployed in Mumbai, Pune, Malegaon, Amravati and some other places. The deployment of CAPF will give some relief to the state police personnel who had been overburdened and stressed in the duty of lockdown enforced due to COVID-19 pandemic for last 2 months. Maharashtra government had requested 20 companies of CAPF from the centre. In a move to decongest the prisons, some 7,200 inmates have been released so far. Around 10,000 more will be released soon. Apart from this, the Mumbai civic body in its testing advisory has asked pregnant women expecting delivery in 4-5 days to conduct tests even if they are asymptomatic and coming from containment zone. Meanwhile, a train carrying 1,500 migrant labourers left for Karnataka from Sindhudurg last night. Kunal Shinde, AIR News, Mumbai.
Punjab Chief Minister Amrinder Singh has announced that the coronavirus lockdown in the state will continue till 31st of this month, though his government will lift the curfew restrictions from tomorrow. In a live Facebook interaction, the Chief Minister indicated the resumption of limited public transport and maximum possible relaxations in the non-containment zones from tomorrow. He said the containment zones will be strictly sealed to enable resumption of shops and small businesses in the non-containment areas. He added that details of all the relaxations will be announced by tomorrow, taking into account the new guidelines of the Centre for Lockdown 4.0. The Chief Minister, however, made it clear that educational institutes will continue to remain closed in the interest of the safety and security of the children.
As part of the Samudra Setu program under Vande Bharat mission, the naval ship INS Jalashwa arrived in Cochin port today at 12 p.m. carrying 588 persons evacuated from Maldives.
The group of expatriates from Maldives included 497 males, 70 females, including 6 pregnant women and 21 children. Passengers showing COVID symptoms were disembarked first, followed by others in small groups. The medical screening of passengers are being carried out by Port Health Organization. After the screening, people with symptoms will be shifted to Ernakulam Medical College and others will be transferred to quarantine centers. Meanwhile, 4 flights under Vande Bharat Phase 2 mission is scheduled to arrive in Kerala today, carrying expatriates from Middle East. 3 flights are scheduled to arrive in Kochi today evening from Dubai, Abu Dhabi and Muscat. Another flight from Dubai will also be arriving in Kannur today late evening. Mayusha for AR News from Thiruvananthapuram.
3 flights have been scheduled from the UAE under the Vande Bharat mission today. The second phase of the Vande Bharat mission to bring back stranded Indian nationals began yesterday and will continue till the 22nd of this month. 2 flights are scheduled from Dubai to Kochi and Kannur, while 1 flight is scheduled from Abu Dhabi to Kochi. Priority has been given to distressed blue-collared workers, medical emergency cases, pregnant women, stranded tourists and elderly people to go back on these special flights. All passengers have been screened with the help of the UAE health authorities, and those found asymptomatic will be allowed to board the flight. In the second week of the Vande Bharat mission, 18 flights have been scheduled from the UAE to various destinations in India to take back stranded citizens abroad.
Union Health Ministry has issued detailed guidelines for preparedness and response to COVID-19 in urban areas. The document contains surveillance, containment and clinical management measures, among others, for densely populated urban settlements. As per the guidelines, the surveillance system for COVID-19 in urban areas should be strengthened and strict perimeter control be maintained in containment zones, with Section 144 enforced to ensure people remain in their dwelling units. It was said that in most of the cities or towns, the disease surveillance system is not as well organized as in the rural areas. The guidelines say, therefore, the surveillance system will be strengthened for the surveillance and contact tracing mechanism. The Centre has asked the states to use online portal, National Migrant Information System, NMIS, for capturing the information on movement of migrants and for better interstate coordination. In a letter to the state chief secretaries, Union Home Secretary Ajay Bhalla said that to capture the information regarding movement of migrants and facilitate the smooth movement of stranded persons across states, National Disaster Management Authority, NDMA, has developed an online dashboard, NMIS, on the existing NDMA GIS portal. He said the portal will maintain a central repository and help the sending as well as receiving state and district to ask for and give their acceptance in an online format seamlessly. This system will help in speedy communication between states without creating additional work at the level of the field officers. The key data pertaining to the persons migrating has been standardized for uploading, such as name, age, mobile number, originating and destination district, and date of travel, which states are already collecting.
Government has amended its export policy regarding masks. All kinds of non-medical masks, including those made up of cotton, silk, wool and knitted material, will be allowed to be exported. All medical masks will, however, continue to remain prohibited for export. Government had earlier completely prohibited export of any kind of mask from the country. Communication, Electronics and Information Technology Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad appreciated the efforts of the telecom sector. In a tweet, the minister said that on World Telecommunication Day, he appreciated the efforts of the employees of telecom and internet service providers for rendering uninterrupted services to the people despite facing the constraints posed by lockdown.
Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR, has said that a total of 93,365 samples of coronavirus were tested in the last 24 hours. The total number of tests reached 22,27,642 in the country. Meanwhile, ICMR is continuously scaling up its testing facilities for COVID-19 by giving approval to government and private laboratories. You're listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman unveils structural reforms for 7 sectors in the 5th tranche of Atmanirbhar Bharat package. Government to increase public health expenditure and invest in grassroots health institutions to prepare for future pandemics. Centre to give states extra resources worth over 4 lakh crore rupees. Additional 40,000 crore rupees allocated under MG Narega to provide fillip to employment. Third phase of nationwide lockdown ends today. COVID-19 recovery rates rises above 35%. Tropical cyclone Amphan intensifying over Bay of Bengal as it moves towards Bangladesh, Myanmar and India. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
Health and Family Welfare Ministry said that a total 34,109 patients have been cured of coronavirus and the recovery rate has reached 37.51% in the country. During the last 24 hours, 3,956 patients have recovered and 4,957 fresh cases of COVID-19 have been reported, taking the total number of cases to 90,927. A total of 120 deaths have been registered in the last 24 hours, taking the nationwide toll to 2,872. In Jharkhand, 52.07% of the affected patients have recovered from COVID-19 infection and have been discharged. The number of corona-infected patients has gone up to 217 in the state, while 113 patients have been cured. A total of 3 persons have died due to the disease, and 101 active cases are still undergoing treatment. Showing a positive sign in the recovery rate of patients, 4 districts, Bokaro, Simdega, Dumka and Devgar have declared themselves as corona-free districts. Doubling rate of cases in Jharkhand stands at 14.7 days, higher than the national average of 13.3 days.
Telangana state has crossed the mark of 1,500 COVID-19 cases, even as the 4th phase national lockdown is going to begin with more relaxations. The state reported 55 more fresh COVID-19 cases yesterday, with positive cases getting reported among migrants are on the rise. Meanwhile, our correspondent says the first phase of community-based sero-surveillance has completed in the state in 3 districts. A report.
As part of the nationwide community-based sero-surveillance, the sample collection has been completed in 3 districts of Telangana state. Among the total 33 districts of the state, the survey has been held in Kamareddy, Jangaon and Nalgonda districts. The ICMR National Institute of Nutrition, along with the state government COVID teams, has collected 1,200 samples from 30 districts at a rate of 40 persons from each village randomly. NAN officials informed that the samples will be sent to Chennai and the second round sample collection will be taken up after 15 days. Lakshmi, AIR News, Hyderabad.
In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, a surge in the number of positive cases of coronavirus pandemic has been witnessed yesterday. 29 more COVID-19 patients have recovered yesterday and have been subsequently discharged from various hospitals. With this, the total recoveries of the infected persons who have recovered so far in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir is 542. More from our Srinagar correspondent.
Jammu and Kashmir's COVID graph witnessed the highest ever spike since the pandemic outbreak as 108 new cases were tested positive for the coronavirus pandemic yesterday. With these new cases, the tally of positive cases in Jammu and Kashmir has jumped to 1121. Meanwhile, a person hailing from Chadora area, Badgam district, has become the 12th fatality from COVID-19 in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, who died at Sikim's hospital at Soura in Srinagar yesterday. This is Sunil Kohl for AIR News from Srinagar.
Gujarat government has launched free food grains distribution to the 68.80 lakh families till today. Around 3.36 crore people will be covered under the scheme. AIR Ahmedabad correspondent reports that these families will also get an additional of 3.5 kilograms wheat and 1.5 kilograms rice per person and 1 kilogram pulses per family under Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan package. Meanwhile, the selling of grocery and vegetables started again in Ahmedabad. A report.
In a major relief to the people of Ahmedabad, the supply of groceries and vegetables resumed after remaining suspended for 8 days. After closing all stores except milk and medicines, civic authorities have screened vegetable vendors and staff of groceries and have issued licenses to resume operations. About 32,000 such grocery and vegetable vendors have been given licenses to operate in and around Ahmedabad. Ahmedabad district has already recorded more than 8,000 COVID-19 cases. 490 patients have lost their lives till now. Authorities have also identified more than 700 super spreaders from Ahmedabad as COVID-19 positive, mainly grocery and vegetable vendors during the last week. This will help to contain the infection in Ahmedabad. Yogesh Pandya, Air News, Ahmedabad.
In Mizoram, churches will allow the premises to be used as quarantine facilities during the COVID-19 pandemic. Chief Secretary Lalun Moya Chuanou said this while holding a state-level task force group meeting in Aizawl. The state is presently COVID-free. The state government is expecting that another 10,000 people will return by middle of June. On Friday, 888 people of Mizoram stranded in other states reached the state by travelling on Shramik special train from Chennai. A report.
Chief Secretary said a large number of homecoming people need huge quarantine facilities. The state government has requested the church body to provide shelter for the purpose. Officials said following the request of the government, the church bodies agreed with the providing shelter to the stranded people reaching the state. They said that 51 church premises having big halls have agreed to spare, and they will also provide meals to the sheltered people at their premises. Irene, AIR News, Aizawl.
Arunachal Pradesh State Transport Services will resume from tomorrow. The department has opened its portal for online booking of tickets today. In an order, APST has said that all services will be resumed from May 18 under certain terms and conditions, including strict observance of social distancing and other standard operating procedures issued by the state and the central governments. Rajendra Sahu from Chhatarpur district of Madhya Pradesh has received payments under the Prime Minister Garib Kalyan Yojana. He has thanked the government for benefits under various schemes.
नाम राजेंद्र साहू, ग्राम ब्रजपुरा, जिला छतरपुर, मध्य प्रदेश। पहली किस्त 2000 की आ चुकी है, दूसरी भी आ चुकी है। ऐसी परिस्थिति में जो पैसा मिला है वो आर्थिक स्थिति में काम आया है, इसलिए मैं सरकार का धन्यवाद करता हूँ।
In Madhya Pradesh, the Board of Secondary Education will no longer conduct the examinations for the remaining subjects of the 10th board in the state, while for the remaining papers of the 12th board examinations will be held between 8 and 16 June. More in this report.
According to the official information, for the 10th board exam, merit will be prepared based on the marks for which the examination has been completed. Only the pass will be written against the remaining subjects. Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan said in the review meeting of the Education Department that the 12th exam is very important for the future of children. Hence, the examinations is being conducted for the remaining subjects of the class 12th. Significantly, due to the corona outbreak, the Madhya Pradesh School Education Department has already given general promotion to the students of class 9th and 11th for this session. On the other hand, the state government has also announced that private schools will be able to charge only tuition fee to the students during the lockdown period, but library, bus, sports and any other kind of fees will not be charged because schools have been closed from March 19 to till date in the state. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
In an effort to guard against fake news being circulated on various platforms, we bring you a segment on fact-checking and mythbusters. A WhatsApp forward claiming to be date sheet of CBSE board examination for class 10th and 12th is been circulated. The message is fake and the date sheet has not been released yet. Human Resource Development Minister Dr. Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank has announced that the date sheet for the exam will be released at 5 p.m. today.
India has provided 30,000 Patho-Detect COVID-19 qualitative RT-PCR test kits to Nepal. Ambassador of Nepal to India to Nepal, Vinay Mohan Quatra, handed over test kits to Nepal's Health and Population Minister Bhanu Bhakt Dhakal in Kathmandu today. The consignment, as a gift from people of India to people of Nepal, will enable Nepali health professionals to conduct PCR tests on 30,000 people. These initiatives stem from the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's video conference of SAARC leaders on 15th of March 2020. Meanwhile, 10 new cases of COVID-19 were reported today in Nepal, taking the nationwide tally to 291. According to the Ministry of Health and Population, 10 persons from Rohtaghat district diagnosed with COVID-19 today. All new patients are male and their condition is reported to be normal. Meanwhile, Nepal reported first death due to COVID-19 on Saturday. A 29-year-old woman from Sindhupal Chowk district died of coronavirus.
In a series, Experts Speak, we bring you the views of leading medical experts on COVID-19. Dr. Anant Mohan, head of pulmonary medicine, AIMS, has advised the people not to take medicine like hydroxychloroquine or anti-malarial without a prescription by a doctor.
Please do not take medicines such as azithromycin, other antibiotics, antivirals or hydroxychloroquine or other anti-malarials without a proper prescription by a doctor. Do not self-medicate.
Indian actor Amitabh Bachchan appealed to the people to unite in the fight against COVID-19. He said that everyone should take all precautions and follow government guidelines to stop the spread of the infection.
नमस्कार, मैं हूं अमिताभ बच्चन। देखिए, हम सब मिलकर नोवल कोरोना वायरस या कोविड-19 को फैलने से रोक सकते हैं। इसके लिए हमें बचाव के कुछ तरीके अपनाने होंगे। खांसते या छींकते समय हमेशा अपने मुंह को रुमाल से या टिश्यू से ढकें। अपनी आंख, नाक और मुंह को हाथ से न छुएं। अपने हाथों को समय समय पर साबुन और पानी से लगभग 20 सेकंड तक धोएं। भीड़ भाड़ वाली जगह पर जाने से बचें।
The News Services Division of All India Radio, in its bilingual live phone-in program today, will bring you a special discussion program on COVID-19. Dr. Lieutenant General Ved Chaturvedi, Senior Consultant in Department of Rheumatology and Clinical Immunology at Sir Gangaram Hospital, New Delhi, will participate in the discussion. Listeners can ask questions from the experts on toll-free telephone number 1800115767. You can also ask questions on our telephone number 011-233-14444. This can be heard tonight on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:25 p.m. onwards. The cyclonic storm Amphan over southeast Bay of Bengal and neighbourhood has intensified into a severe cyclonic storm over the region. Cyclone alert for coastal areas of West Bengal and cyclone watch for Odisha's coastal lines have been issued. Indian Met Department has said that cyclone is very likely to intensify further into a severe cyclonic storm during the next 12 hours and into a very severe cyclonic storm by 18th of morning. The tropical cyclone Amphan is intensifying over the Bay of Bengal as it moves towards Bangladesh, Myanmar and India. In the coming few days, the cyclone is likely to cause heavy rains, flooding, storm surge and strong winds in parts of Bangladesh, Myanmar and India. The exact direction of the storm remains uncertain, but Bangladesh Met Department has cautioned its sailors and fishermen not to venture out to sea.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. In the national capital, minimum temperature will be 24 degrees Celsius, while maximum temperature is expected to be 41 degrees Celsius. Delhi is likely to witness dust storm or thunderstorm. Mumbai will experience mainly clear sky but generally cloudy sky towards afternoon or evening. The minimum temperature in the city is likely to be 28 degrees Celsius, while maximum will remain around 35 degrees Celsius. In the south, Chennai will see a generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. The temperatures will hover between 29 and 38 degrees Celsius. In Srinagar, the minimum temperature will be 10 degrees Celsius, while maximum will be 27. The region is likely to be partly cloudy with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. Similar weather is expected to prevail in Gilgit. The temperature will hover between 14 and 33 degrees Celsius today. In Muzaffarabad, the sky will be partly cloudy. Towards evening or night, it will witness minimum temperature of 13 degrees Celsius and maximum temperature of 33 degrees Celsius. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman unveils structural reforms for 7 sectors in the 5th tranche of Atmanirbhar Bharat package. Government to increase public health expenditure and invest in grassroots health institutions to prepare for future pandemics. Centre to give states extra resources worth over 4 lakh crore rupees. Additional 40,000 crore rupees allocated under MG Narega to provide fillip to employment. Third phase of nationwide lockdown ends today. Maharashtra extends lockdown till 31st of May. COVID-19 recovery rates rises above 35%. and tropical cyclone Amphan intensifying over Bay of Bengal as it moves towards Bangladesh, Myanmar and India. And for details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.com and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the Midday News.